many different things: equal pay, kindness, love, and not being judged. Now, how can I create peace? Tell everyone that they are loved even when it seems like they're not. Tell everyone that they are unique, and so if you're different, being different is better than being all the same. Now, that is peace to me.
Hi, I'm Isabel, and my poem is called Be Happy. Some kings ruled their kingdom sitting down surrounded by luxury, soft cushions and fans. But this king stood strong, stood proud, and stood tall. When the driver told Rosa, move to the back of the bus. When the waiter told students, we don't serve your kind. When the mayor told voters, your vote doesn't count. And when the sheriff told marchers, get off our streets. Using fire hoses, police dogs, and cattle prods to move them along, this king stood strong, stood proud, and stood tall. Speaking of peace, of love, and children, hand in hand, free at last, free at last. When some yelled for violence, for angry revenge, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, he stood ground, preaching peace. And when some spit out hate, he stood there smiling, spreading love, until it rolled like the sea across the land, sweeping away Jim Crow, breaking down the walls, ringing the bell joyfully for freedom. Until standing on the mountain top, they shot him coldly, hoping to see him fall, hoping to put him away, to bring him low. But this king, even in death, even today, stood strong, stood proud, stood tall, and we remember Be Happy.
I am not brown. It may be what the world labeled me, but it's not truly me.
I did not come out into this world saying, hey everybody, I'm brown. No, I was taught to be brown.
And you were taught to call me that, along with whatever you were taught to call yourself.
Whatever it is, it's just a label. You see, from birth, this world force feeds us these labels.
And eventually we swallow these labels.
We digest and accept the labels, never ever doubting them. But there's one problem.
Labels are not me and labels are not you.
They're just labels, but who we truly are is not just skin deep.
You see, when I ride my bike, no one confuses me for my bike. But when I drive my body, why did you confuse me for my body?
It's my body. You see, well, let me break it down for you. Our bodies are just these cars in the dealership we call society. Society decided to label mine the brown edition, yours the white, black, and Latino edition. With no money down, 0% APR, no test drive, we are forced to drive these cars for the rest of our life. Forgive us.
But we fail to see the logic or pride in defining ourselves and judging others by the cars we drive. We are not here to tell you how science has concluded that we genetically think to be better, to give us the feeling of power.
Not here to lecture.
We just want to ask one question.
Who would you be if the world never gave you this label? In today's messed up world, racism is around every corner.
Tucked into every crack and crevice of society, published in every website, Twitter post, or blog. You know, the average person spends 4 years looking down at their phone.
Kind of ironic, because now how these touch screens are making us lose touch, and with the world full of iPads, iPhones, so many eyes, we seem to forget about us and we.
And what can we do about it? Technology has made us more selfish and separate than ever. While it claims to connect us, that connection is severed.
But understand that studies have shown that the average attention span of an average adult today is just 1 second less than of a goldfish. Ladies and gentlemen of Jackson Middle School, peace cannot be created by me or you, but us, by smiling when we have low batteries, because that means we're one step closer to humanity. Thank you.
I will admit to growing up this way. Racism, sexism, feminism. I've gotten the question once or twice. What is peace? Why can't I have peace? Personally, I've asked this question of myself. Why the heck can no one leave me alone? A sea of emotion. I just want to drown in the undertow. I'm sick and tired of someone trying to bring me down because of something that is wrong with me physically. I felt free before the chains of question pulled me into an ever-spiraling hole as I asked myself, can I please have peace? I'm fighting everyone by myself every day because they don't know how to be peaceful. One day, maybe it'll change. Maybe one day, there will be peace in our community, city, state, and world. Heck, even our school. But maybe it's just not meant to turn out that way. It's just the way our minds work, always wanting something good to happen. Maybe peace is just a feeling, an irrelevant feeling. But I still hang on to that feeling. It's a feeling you get so attached to when you're down. It gives you hope. If only for a small moment. It fuels the fire in your heart and makes you believe people can change. I hope our world can one day be at peace, even if it's just a feeling.
peace, paz, pace, spanahum, words we have heard many times in our lives. We understand through our perspective what it means to show peace. But today, many countries have never experienced peace. Does our world know what peace is anymore? Did we forget what it means to have peace? Do we even know what peace is? Peace isn't violence after violence. Peace isn't revenge after revenge. Peace isn't fight after fight, battle after battle, war after war. But what is peace? What is peace to us? To some of us, it is to caring and being kind enough to care. To some of us, it is to show nonviolence and to never fight. We can't show peace if we don't care. Maybe if all of us would care, to the 7 continents of the world, maybe, just maybe, all this fighting and war can be considered useless and pointless. But if we don't care, genocides of millions will continue. Abuse of thousands of women and children will continue. Shootings of innocent people at home and school will continue. Even school harassment and bullying will continue. This would never happen if we just cared. I believe peace is what brings our nations together. I believe peace is what brings our people together. I believe peace is what brings our own families together. I believe peace can be created from everyone in this room, and I believe it. Now, do you believe it?
White and black, old and young, have you ever heard a song like this that has been sung? Take down the walls, open your eyeballs. This is peace, this is what we can be, just open up your feet.
When I was a little girl, I always felt like I was less, being the only girl in the room, filled with lighter complexions. Like mirrors, they look back at me with their confused facial expressions. At a great age of 8, I realized I was meant to be different, but I was being different really better. As I grew older, I realized that things they have, I will never be able to accomplish. Like, why are white people more likely to get the job or have higher pay? Why is it white people are less likely to get arrested like my colored brothers and sisters? People always say, why don't we have peace? But peace isn't something you receive, peace is something that we earn.
Today is International Peace Day. It is also the 70th anniversary to the signing of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But I don't see those rights represented. So many people who are denied their rights, like how in Article 3, we are provided the right to live free, yet in Afghanistan an estimated 6,500 people were killed in 2007, just from armed conflict, and those 1,260 people who died in Brazil from a police fight, labeled as an act of resistance. Now tell me, what act of resistance costs us such lives? And how about genocide in Rwanda, happening about 50 years after the Genocide Convention was held? Genocide is a violation of our human rights. Human right number 19, the right to expression, the right that no matter what you believe, you won't and can't. This right justifies that your opinion is yours and it can be expressed in any way, but when others use this right around the world, they face consequences and threats by authorities and others. Right number 28, the right to a fair and free world. Let me ask you, do you think we live up to this right, that we live in a fair and free world? Lastly, right number 30, the most important of them all, that no one can take your human rights away, yet someone manages to do so every day. But now, as we've heard some rights, it's time we do something. It's time this generation stands up. When your rights or someone else's rights are out of our grasp. It's time we make the world fair, which is what the human rights promise us. It's time to turn our expectations into a reality.